Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia 155, or Boku no Hero Academia 155, Saviors, Rescuees, and a Hero's Whereabouts. Now, for starters, I don't know why my One Piece review has uploaded in like 360p or something like that, 320p. It was recorded in 1080. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but who knows? Let's carry on. So yeah, this chapter was actually really good. I like this chapter. It was I wanted more of a kind of crescendo chapter rather than another build-up chapter, but it is kind of more of another build-up to the Chisaki versus Deku kind of thing. Even though we did get a bit of their fight, but now team, if you've read the chapter, I hope you have. Team Ryukyu have jumped in as well, so that's gonna be really hype. But there are a whole bunch of things I want to talk about in this chapter. So first off, our boy Aizawa, Eraserhead, has been captured by Chrono and has been pierced by his hour hand. No pun intended with any, or no innuendo. No, I'm not making some sort of innuendo there. He has been pierced by Chrono's hour hand, which means that he moves in slow motion for basically an hour. So beforehand it was just he was affected by slow mo. Now he's moving in slow mo for an hour. So I'm like, yo, shit, okay, that's what his hour hand does. More importantly, though, the probably most important part of the chapter is Chrono's actually a good looking dude, and I'm pretty hetero. I'm hetero, but the Chrono's a good looking dude under that mask. I was like, yo, who knew? You know, the other guy's like Chisaki. He looks a bit like he might be decent looking, but he looks like a murderer, dude. He looks very, very pissed off all the time. But Chrono looks a bit like, I think he looks like a sharper featured version of Arthur from the Nanatsu no Taizai. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that. Yeah. So Eri seems to be the boss's daughter and not Overhaul. So let's just clarify this. The translation note, or the translator's note in the manga stream version of this chapter, was that that Chrono was referring to both Overhaul and the boss of the Yakuza in different terms. He uses some sort of word, Kumicho or something like that, for the boss of the Yakuza, and he uses Kare for Overhaul. So he's referring to the boss of the Yakuza, the old guy, and Eddie seems to be his daughter rather than Overhaul's. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's get to the main part. So I actually enjoyed the fight between Deku and Chisaki. I think some people might have been annoyed about the fact that Deku was just getting rinsed, even though he's in 20% Cal. But we really get to see Chisaki's battle experience, which is always key, trump Deku's insane power and speed. But we also get to see Deku's naivety shown, where he tries to end the fight in one blow, but he leaves himself completely open for the next shot, which is how he gets his arm pierced by that rock. Yeah, so that was really nice to see, and I liked seeing the fact that Deku's actually struggling, because he's also, I think in his mind, he's very aware of what's happened to Mirio and Naitai. He's like, yo, shit, I got to try and end this so I can save some ass, you know. But he can't, and he's also conscious of Eddie as well. So he's got everything on his shoulders, and he can't concentrate, and he's also a very inexperienced fighter. We then get to see the Manchester Smash. Yeah, boys. Horikoshi is repping as UK man name. I was like, yeah, boy, this is sick. Hopefully there's some sort of Birmingham one or a UK one. Who knows? But yeah, that was nice to see. I know there's Manchester in the USA, but this is Manchester freaking UK. Don't lie to me, but this is Manchester UK. So then we see Mirio again, and I was hit right in the feels seeing Mirio this chapter in that state, with his battle with like 3 villains, and then the loss he suffered in that fight. I.e. having lost the fight because he was just being overwhelmed, and then at the end he just stood there held up by Chisaki's spires, and then the loss of his quirk, seeing his master half dead and his arm brutally ripped off. He's been pushed to the point of tears, and his spirit has just basically been broken in this chapter. You see him crying, and he's trying to tell Eddie, like, just stay calm, just carry on going forward, you know, I'm basically fucked. So I was like, seeing Mirio in that state, I was like, this guy's gotta get his quirk back, man. I don't like seeing him in this state, and I want him to get his quirk back, because he was sick. Mirio was one of the best characters while he had his quirk, and I feel like it's too soon for him to lose his quirk or not be relevant, even though we just started to know him and really like him. Then Nemoto comes back. He's like, it's like Deidara, but on Chisaki's got a hand on one of his arms, and he's like, he says to Eddie, because of you, I had to die again, and he shouts this down the tunnel, and Overhaul's just put his hand up, and he's like, okay, I didn't know this could happen. But what really got me was Nemoto says, because of you, I had to die again. Now, I don't know if I've made a huge blunder or something like that, but what the fuck? What's that supposed to mean? Have I completely missed something? Have I made a blunder or something? Has Chisaki used because what it looks like, and then we have that flashback as well right after Nemoto says that is there's a flashback which shows Chisaki and Nemoto working on Eri, and they're bandaging her up and everything, and then Chisaki's like, okay, we need to reset her. But why would they tie that into Nemoto having to die again? I don't understand what the again part of it is. So was Chisaki kind of like, was he being used to repair Eri? Was Nemoto being used to repair Eri by Chisaki all the time? And then after she would like gain her energy back again, they'd repair Nemoto and he'd be fine again. So is he kind of like a spare parts donor for like when Eri needed some energy or some shit? They'd break down elements of Nemoto and put him into her, and then once she juiced up all that energy, they'd take him out or some shit. I don't know, but it seems like a really, really weirdly phrased sentence to say, I had to die again. I mean, like, how many times are you gonna die, boy? This is the first time we've seen you die, and you still seem to be alive, so I don't know. And then the part of the chapter where I was like, Eddie, what are you doing? What are you, like, legit, what are you doing? I understand she knows nothing more than to respond with this kind of conditioned response, but god damn it, Eddie, you are making it. You ain't making it half hard for these heroes, man. I was like, why are you going back? And then she even does our boy Deku over when she's like, Chisaki asks her, like, do you really think this boy's gonna do me? Do you think he's got anything on me? And she's like, nah, he ain't got shit. He can't do shit. I was like, wow, like, you're really gonna say that in front of Deku? He's right there trying to save your ass, and you're like, nah, you can't do shit, boy. So it's gonna be a really tough road. Just looking at this chapter, it's gonna be a really tough road to assume the title of the symbol of peace for Deku. It's gonna be a really tough experience for him, but it's something that he's got to do. As he's the one who's an inherited one for all. Then we have Chisaki telling Deku that Deku and the heroes it's because of them that Eri had this budding of hope inside her, and it's all being smashed to pieces now, and that's the cruelest thing they could have done to her. I.e., they gave her hope and then they all fucked up. And she now kind of dismisses them. She doesn't want to see them again and stuff, and she doesn't have any faith in them. So that was like, once again, Chisaki going in with that psychological battle, trying to put down everything the heroes are doing, especially Deku. And then we find out exactly what Night Eye saw last chapter. He saw himself and Midoriya, or Deku, dying. But so far, someone mentioned this point on Reddit, so far we know that Night Eye trying to influence the future does nothing, so he can't directly influence the future he sees, and he can't do anything about it. But what if someone else interferes heavily, so really heavily? And you'll understand why I bring that up, because of what happens later on in this chapter, which is actually the next point. I really like the fact that Ochako, Tsuyu, and Ryukyu drop in through the ceiling. They just smash through the ceiling. Ochako seems to be using her some form of gravity, so she might have just the area they were stood on top of, she might just heavily increase the gravitational pull or something, and it just smashed them straight through. You got a freaking dragon and a huge precept looking dude stood there, so the amount of force that was going through the ground must have been extremely high, so they just smashed straight through the ground, and they smashed in straight through the ceiling. And like I said, they also brought the one precept we know nothing about with them. We don't know his name, we don't know what he does. All we know is that he seems to have the largest mask of all of them, and he's got like this really, really beaky features. And he's just extremely muscular. He's huge. He's fighting with a freaking dragon. You understand how huge this guy is. So in terms of what this is going to do for Deku, this is going to help him big time. He was panicking, I said before, because of Mirio, Night Eye, and Eri. Ochako and Tsuyu have always been those characters which help him to calm down, especially Ochako. Especially Tsuyu as well. Tsuyu is like really good at calming down Deku. They've been through a lot together. Also, Ochako's anti-gravity, I think, will be really useful against Overhaul, because if she makes the debris surrounding them weightless, they won't have much impact when Chisaki uses them to kind of propel into someone. So if they're weightless, it's the momentum which carries them through someone or hits someone and breaks their ribs or something, and that's a lot of that's to do with weight. So if she makes it weightless, it's going to be pretty much game over for Chisaki, because she can't really guess exactly which pieces he's going to use. And then, of course, Ryukyu is a freaking dragon, so yeah, things are looking pretty hype for her. She's obviously gonna play some huge part, but we don't know. We've not seen exactly what she can do. Maybe can she breathe fire? That'd be pretty dope. But then the one kind of thing, like, I really like the fact that Ochako and Team Ryukyu will basically all drop through the ceiling, and I think they're gonna play a really big part in helping Deku. But Night Eye's lack of a response or any form of shock when he sees Team Ryukyu drop through the ceiling is a bit disconcerting and a bit disheartening even, because the fact it suggests he knew that they were going to come down, or he's foreseen that they were going to come down. And if he's already foreseen that, then it also suggests that his death and Midoriya's death is still on track, and it's still going to occur. But there's been this whole, like, for a long time in anime and in mangas as well, there's that whole trope of I've seen the future, we can't do anything to change it, and then the main character's like, no, I'll change it, and then they change it. So I'm not really too concerned for Izuku. He's gonna change what Night Eye has seen, because that trope has been in anime and manga for ages. That whole seeing the future, changing the future, it's been there for ages. I think it's even happened in One Piece, so I'm not too concerned about what's going to happen. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in a bit.